What's up, nailisters? We are back with another nail video, and in today's video, we are going to be doing another regular nail polish look. However, in the last video, I did the same thing, but I did not do a voiceover. So if you want to hear my voice, you can come to this video, and those are the nails right there that I did on the last video, and they turned out wonderful. There's a lot to be said on that last video about regular polish. You can make regular polish look good. And I know that a lot of people nowadays do not get regular polish because, we have shellac and we have colored acrylics and we have colored UV hard gels and things like that. So I just wanted to kind of go over some tips and tricks that'll make your regular polish look just as good and just as fabulous as regular polish. Let's get into it. Okay, so I'm adjusting my camera. And I did speed this video up so that it'll go by fairly quick. And just like in the other video, I'm going to start with laying some clear acrylic over these tips. And they're the same tips. They are, in fact, um, curved. Okay, so the pinky nail, I did put a colored acrylic just because I wanted to try to make make it to where the camera can actually show what I'm doing and how I'm laying my acrylic. Um, I didn't like what I used, so I switched and got a pure white acrylic. So you can really see how I am moving my brush, how I am manipulating the acrylic to stay in place, how I'm wiping the sidewalls, etc., etc. So do keep in mind that this video is sped up. So if I am filing, it looks more abrasive than what it is. However, this is a plastic hand. So um, but I like to try to treat my plastic hand as if it were a real person. That's how you get the best practice, because you wouldn't be turning a real hand any kind of which way, and you would not be as rough as you could potentially be on a plastic hand. So with that being said, I wanted to get into a topic. I didn't just want to talk about the video itself. Once we get to the polishing part, I'll get into that. But I wanted to talk about why you don't see a lot of us working in their salons. I'm going to be careful how I word this, and I'm not trying to make it about race, but some things you just cannot deny. And in the last year, I've worked at 5 salons in my city, and some were better than others, but you know, these salons were mainly in nicer neighborhoods, all except for maybe 2 of them. They were still pretty decent areas, but heavily populated areas. And one was a black salon, one was a Vietnamese salon. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Please don't get in my comments asking for names. I don't do that messy stuff. I know better. I know better. I've had people ask me, what's who, what, who, what. I'm not giving all that information because that's neither here nor there. The bigger picture is and I see why we don't work in their salons and we rather just open up shop for ourselves because of the constant just disrespect that you receive. You know, I wondered that same thing before I became a licensed nail tech and before I tried to work in these type of salons. Um, and it's not just the other salons too. Sometimes, things just don't work out. But in our own salons, people that look like us. And that was purely the case. Things just didn't work out at the black salon, but the other salons were white people, and the one Vietnamese salon that I worked at, and I just did not feel like I fit in there. You know, if you hear somebody say that they're a family, oh, our salon is like a family, everybody's close knit, run for the hills, especially if you aren't that type of person. You just want to come and do a job and go home and leave work at home. If you're that type of person, run for the hills, because that's just trouble. And what that is that is like a caution sign, a red flag for drama. They have drama in their salon. And I don't care to be a part of anybody's drama. Like I said, I just wanted to work and build my clientele. I went there for all the right reasons. There's plenty of YouTube videos that goes into detail, so I don't need to go into detail about my situation, because you can click on any other YouTube video and I can vouch for what they were saying with my situation. It's the same situation across the nation. So that is partly why. And then too, you have your people that look like us that come into these salons and they don't want to give you a chance because you're not Vietnamese. Oh, the Vietnamese people do nails better. No, they do not. Now, overall, you can't say one race do something better than another race. You just can't, because God gave us each our own individual talents. So I've seen some lumpy bumpy specials come out of those Vietnamese salons. I've seen and witnessed uh illegal things that are licensed don't it prohibit us from being done in these salons, such as removing ingrown nails. A lot of salons do that, and they know they're supposed to refer that person to a physician. And I'm pretty sure, it might be different in other states, but I know in my state, we are prohibited from removing ingrown nails, not hang nails. Hang nails is just like skin coming up off the cuticle, right? I'm talking about ingrown nails where you have to break skin. We are not supposed to deal with blood. We're supposed to stop a service if there's blood, visible on the nail plate or the fingers or hands or feet. So I've seen all types of stuff being done. And then another thing too, you got to be careful, because if you leave or quit, they might retaliate against you and try to come after your license. So speaking from experience, it's crazy. It's better to just open up your own spot, and that's why I see a lot of us doing that. However, in my city and state, I would love to see a black owned nail salon where there's people that look like me working in there. Like, yeah, we can have, sprinkles of others, like they do us, but they don't want too many of us in one establishment. We know this. So open your own. I know somebody that probably isn't in the nail industry is probably like, well, just open your own shop. Well, that's why, and it makes it hard to find good nail techs that look like you and me, or look like yourself, because you could be a different race listening to this. But it makes it hard because we're dispersed, and that's how the higher ups, want it. That's the plan of America. They don't want black unity. They don't want black entrepreneurs or black anything, black excellence to prevail. So they'll do anything at all costs to stop that. Okay. So, I mean, I know you're probably thinking like, oh, it's just nails, but I'm in this industry and it needs to be some reformation, especially where I'm at. And I'm pretty sure other states can agree to this and attest to this. And I actually watch a lot of other YouTubers that are mainly from other states. I don't know any other YouTuber that does nails in my state. I don't look for them either. Um, but 100% of the YouTubers that I watch, we are not in the same state. So, because if we were, I probably would be pulling thousands of views too on any given video. I'm in the Midwest, and I know a lot of people will probably be like, oh, well, that's your problem right there. Yes and no. There are black people here where I'm at. There's plenty of black people in the Midwest. Detroit, Chicago, Kansas City, Colorado, Denver, those are cities that have a great black, population. And I'm right smack dab in the middle of all that. And there's black people here. It's just that we don't control the temperature of the water here. And when you control the temperature of the water, that controls the life of the fish and the livelihood in the water, right? So follow me, Um, so you have a lot of people in the Midwest that don't even realize that this is an issue, that, and this can be talked about not just with nails, but with any job, profession, industry. It's like that. That divide and conquer is very, very strong in any given profession. Okay. And they still see us as a threat. In 2022, the others see us as a threat and they know who they are. And sometimes our own see us as a threat. We have to start supporting our own more. That's the only way we all win. I'm not saying don't support the others. Yeah, support them. Allow them to come into your establishment. Yeah, take their money. They sure take ours. But are they including us? I was watching one video where the chick was talking about how um they, meaning Vietnamese salons, they build up their salon and move it on. They help build their family up. They bring their family up to work in their salons. They groom them to be, business owners and to open up their own location. Black people don't do that. Hell, we don't even want to open a salon and hire other black people, let alone show them the game and teach them about business credit, how to properly open a business on black and white paper, and help them to establish their own. We don't do that. It's and I can say this, the black owned salon that I was in, that lady wasn't trying to help me get on to the, she claimed that, but her actions was not that. She wanted me right where I was at, scuffling and trying to pay that high ass booth rent every week, with none of her clients even really looking at me to get their nails done. I had all of two people that came from her to get their, and the rest was my people, whether it was family members, people I knew that wanted to support me when they found out I was in a salon. So, and it wasn't a whole lot because I was struggling to pay the $150 booth rent a week, which was high, you know? So we don't do that in our community. And that's what I'm talking about. It's bigger than just the scrutiny and the discrimination that we endure while we're in these other salons. They're not looking to make us a manager and to pass on the baton to us. We have to do that for ourselves. Actually, it's the opposite because all I've gotten from working at most of these salons that I've worked at is negativity. All I've gotten is backlash. All I've gotten is insulted, my work insulted. So, yeah, that's why you don't see too many black men or women working in these salons. Now, had I went to school for hair or cosmetology, I probably wouldn't have any trouble getting a job in this town, as long as you don't piss off the wrong person, and that's anywhere, right? Because there's more black hairdressers and barbers working together. What I'm saying is, in my city, here in the Midwest, my city, there aren't nail shops that's like that. You have independent nail techs working legally or illegally for themselves, and it makes it hard to zero in on talented black nail technicians, because I think that's important. I know the importance of, a child looking up to you at a young age saying, hey, I want to do that. I literally, as a 12-year-old, whatever year old youngin, thought that I couldn't do nails because all I saw around me at the time in the 90s was Vietnamese people getting their, getting all the business for nails. I still loved nails, and I still, here I'm fouling. I still loved nails and I still wanted to do that, but I felt like I couldn't go far. I felt like my success was capped because I didn't see anybody at that time. It wasn't until like early to mid 2000s that we even got our like probably first black nail salon that I knew of. And that's important for the next generation to see. All they see in my city, all they see is independent nail techs. And so they feel like for it to be done right, they got to go to these shops. Well, I'm here to tell you, these shops ain't following state guidelines. Just because they got a liquor license or a damn, business operations license, that's cool, that's good, whatever. That don't mean that their work is good. All you got to do is go on their website. All you got to do is go on their Google. Look at the work. All you got to do is look at the reviews on their business. I like to think that when I'm on Google looking at reviews, I like to think that the negative reviews are the honest reviews, because you don't know where the good ones came from. Point blank, period. So, and I'm just using my 80/80 grit file, and I don't file for very long because you laid the acrylic right. Hey, it makes it easier for you. After we file, we buff, and I'm kind of out of frame. Excuse me, y'all. I'm out of frame just a little bit. But yeah, this is a thing. Like, people, because the temperature of the water is controlled by somebody else. And most oftentimes, we don't come together because we are viewing each other as a threat. We don't like each other. We don't want to work with each other. We don't want to support and buy goods and services from each other because we view ourselves as inadequate. And a person like that, I don't want your business because you don't feel that yourself is adequate enough. So you don't think that I'm adequate enough. And that's all that adds up to. But the black demographic is a hard one to please because for so long, black people have been behind in this country for so long that we're just now getting hair supplier stores. We're just now getting black distributors. We're just now getting black nail techs. So engraved in their minds, now this next generation, the Gen Zs, they get it. They go, they run and they support. You know what I'm saying? But us older, a little older ones, us millennials, we're like slow to support black people because growing up, we always went to the Chinamen for our Chinese food. We always went to this person for this and that person for that. And we rarely put it back into our own neighborhoods. Now, growing up, there was black entrepreneurs, cooks, restaurants, you name it. And my mom did a great deal of supporting a lot of black owned businesses where we're at, whether it was restaurants, whatever. Mainly restaurants though, because that's what they'll give us. They like our cooking. I guess this is slavery times. Oh, we belong in the kitchen. You good enough to be in the kitchen. Make us some of that good Cajun style food y'all cook. Anyways, why did my video just freeze? Oh, it didn't. It's just it. I'm just taking long to get the polish, and the polish that I'm actually using is called. Hold on one second. It's number 80 from Ideal Beauty called Camoy. I believe Camoy. So that's the polish that I'm using, just in case if you want a copycat and you like that tone. That's what it is. It's from Ideal Beauty, number 80 Camoys. Um. So yeah, we I did a great deal of seeing having that image of supporting black owned growing up, and not too many people have. But that is so important. Okay, patronize and support people that look like you. That is so important. Why is it a bad thing when we do it, but they do it? Right here, I'm putting on my base coat, and I'm using base coat by Beauty Secrets because I do not have iGel Beauty regular polish base coat. I only have gel polish base coat, and I don't want to mix gel with regular polish. So I'm just doing thin layers on each finger. And then also, I am going in. Actually, I top coated that nail because that pinky nail is iGel Beauty's Dip and Dap, and that's like a ash, really light ash gray. Don't recall the color. So I already put my base coat, and now I'm going in with a thin layer of that iGel Beauty's color. And you want to work thin because with regular polish, you don't want it to clump up, and you're racing against time because once the regular polish hits the air, it's drying. So I'm making thin layers, and then you want to do at least 2 coats. If you want to go in for a third, fine, that's great. Also, they do have, to speed up drying time for regular polish, they do have, I know C&D has solar speed spray, and it works pretty well as long as you didn't make the polish too thick and you didn't polish both layers back to back. You kind of got to let it dry, because you can do it back to back, but your client or whoever you're working on is going to have to sit for a while by a fan to get that to harden. Okay, so that's why you want to work in, thin layers. You also want to make sure that first layer you get as much as possible. The second layer is to clean up, but you don't want to have to clean up too much because you want full coverage. You want even coverage. So make sure that first layer, you know, you don't have a whole lot on your brush. So that first layer, in fact, look good. Okay. But yeah, I hope y'all hearing what I'm saying. Okay. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you like this video. And, you know, just make sure you share. If you can't do any of that, share it. Share it on your Facebook. Share it on your Twitter, wherever you can share YouTube videos. It doesn't cost anything to share. But I like to come at stuff from a real angle. And, you know, look how great that polish look. I like to come at stuff from an honest, truthful place. And there's not too many honest and truthful people in the world. Not too many. People are in the matrix. You know, people are living in this simulation. You know, I think that's crazy that they created the metaverse because we're already in the metaverse. You know, social media got a mind of its own. But anyways, um, those things are very important. And I'm kind of out of frame here because I did zoom in, so I do apologize. But you will be able to see the final finished look. And once again, that is that polish that I used. Very cute salmon coral type color. And we top coated, you know. And this is just an overview of what I did in the last video with the brown nails. So I'm trying to appease everybody. Those that don't want to hear my voice and they just want to hear the music and watch what I'm doing. And those of you that actually want the coaching. It's very simple, and regular polish can look just as good as, you know, gel polish. Honestly, I don't like gel polish as much as I like regular polish. This is what I started out with. This is the OG. And now we are top coating with that same Beauty Secrets top coat. Okay. And if you want to, you can put gel top coat over regular polish. Just make sure it's the same brand and make sure you cure it. Okay. In a curing lamp or LED UV lamp from anywhere between 30 seconds to 2 minutes, depending on your lamp. So regular polish can look just as good. And it's proven here. These nails look fabulous. And thank you guys for watching, and go support Black owned business. Okay. That is so important to us. Thank you all. Until the next video. God bless you. I'm out.